Before we get this podcast started, we want to let you in on a little something. If you shop on Amazon like, I don't know, everybody, instead of going straight to Amazon.com to do your shopping, do your friends at Polititainment a favor. You see, Polititainment.net is an Amazon partner. So here's what that means if you want to shop on Amazon. Instead of going to Amazon.com directly, go to Polititainment.net. You'll see an Amazon banner at the top of the page. You click on that banner, and it takes you to Amazon. You buy stuff like always, but a portion of everything you buy goes to Polititainment. Shop on Amazon and help us grow at the same time. Again, just go to Polititainment.net and click on the Amazon banner at the top of the page. Now, enjoy the show. Warning, this podcast has nuts. Those allergic to nuts or common sense should take note. This show also contains references to freedom, liberty, and constitutional rights. Simply listening to the show may lead to wiretapping, canvassing of your emails, and increased IRS scrutiny. So listener discretion is advised.
We the people of the United States in order to form a more perfect place, but not according to me. We hold these truths to be all men, they are created equally, but not according to me. Just a common sense average American dude. I'm a father of four, I'm a husband to my wife, and that's according to me. Oh, oh, oh. According to me. According to me.
From the Kensington Place Studios, this is, according to me, Barack Obama and John Boehner's second most hated internet radio program. The show that nobody listens to but you. And it's the 2-hour show that lasts 60 minutes, and the views and opinions expressed on this show, as they always do, come from the mind of a common sense, conservative, libertarian, average American dude with 4 beautiful kids and a wife to match. Miss a little, miss a lot, man. I've gone for 2 weeks, and this country goes to hell. Like, up is down, left is right, cats and dogs living together side by side. It's madness. And I'm so glad that you guys are here this evening, because we have, doggy. Man, oh man, dude, there's a lot of things I need to get off my chest and talk about that's been kind of, building up over the last couple of weeks, so we haven't been together here. But glad that you guys are here. Of course, you can join us in the chat room tonight at k98talk.com/chat room. Make sure you do that. Chat with the rest of the According to Me militia members who are in the chat room listening to the show. Because I'm sure there's many things that we could be chatting about that has kind of happened over the last couple of weeks that may be on your mind like they're on my mind. So again, make sure that you're doing that. And later on in the program, we're going to talk about the Supreme Court decisions that came out. And love wins, folks. Love wins. But the Constitution loses. And judicial activism is live and well. And 5 folks that we did not elect have changed the entire direction of our country, not because of gay marriage, but because 5 people we did not elect flat out flipped off the Constitution. But that's coming up, trust me. In fact, let's just get into propers really quick. Hammer?
We're about to break them off something proper.
Hey, Jason, do you happen to be on the Twitters?
I am on Twitter. In fact, I can Twitter right now.
I could Twitter now, before the show, after the show, every other day of the week, and every other time in between. You can follow me on Twitter at ATM_show. That is at ATM_SHOW, where you get a slice of common sense, conservatism, and ADHD in 140 characters or less. And also follow Polititainment on Twitter at Polititainment, at POLITITAINMENT. And while you're on the interwebs, you should write on my Facebook wall, like all my best friends do.
Ethel Stefner just wrote on my wall.
Oh, yeah? What'd she say?
She says, get your wrinkly ass down to bingo this Thursday, biatch.
You can write that or whatever you want to on the Facebook page, simply by going to facebook.com/According to Me Show, clicking like and getting not only interaction back and forth with me and the rest of the people who follow the program, but news articles and things we post that interest me and show invites and things you need to know on Facebook through the According to Me Show page on Facebook. Also, again, Polititainment has a Facebook page too. So while you're on there, you may as well just type in Polititainment, click like so you get that stuff as well. But just because you like the Facebook page doesn't mean you have carte blanche to just do whatever you want to in regards to me and Facebook, because I'm telling you right now, if you send me game requests...
I'd unfriend you.
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
Oh, no, quite the contrary. If I get stuff for Candy Crush or Farmville or Lucky Vegas casino slots, bye-bye. Just saying. And if you're wondering if I'm on Instagram or Snapchat, no. And why?
I got bronchitis. Ain't nobody got time for that.
So if you ain't got time for that and you feel like this,
I hate social media.
Then feel free to just send me an email. jason@polititainment.net. That's simple. You know, I haven't done the show in like 2 weeks. I missed the last 2 Wednesdays of the broadcast, and life's just been really, really busy and kind of crazy for me over the last 14 days or so. And I got some feedback from a lot of you who like didn't hear the show, or, hey, you're not on tonight. I mean, you know, and that's a good thing. It means you're out there and you're paying attention and you care, and I do appreciate that. And I missed you too. Mwah! But what was weird about the whole thing is, you know, as the news goes on and things are out there this week, typically I pride myself on talking about the things that are very topical and sometimes that are kind of off of the beaten path that everyone else is talking about. But I have so much stuff that's happened over the last couple of weeks of things that I want to get off my chest and share with you. And I'm sorry that I wasn't here the last 2 weeks, but I'm also really sorry about one other thing. And that's the previous Wednesday was, June 24th. No big deal. I mean, it's just June 24th. It's nothing special. But the week prior to that, I also missed, which was June 17th. And I feel terribly sorry, and I want to make it up to you, the listeners, because I know that you depend on me to make sure that we bring attention to the things that matter and really embrace and celebrate the things that are important in life to recognize and celebrate. And in this open and embracing diversity type globe we live on now, it's important to make sure that we cannot be ignorant to other cultures and other things that matter. We cannot just be okay with celebrating American things. How close-minded and small-minded is that? We can no longer do those things, and I know that you depend on me to be different. And that is why I apologize for missing June 17th, because June 17th was the first day of Ramadan. And now here we are on July 1st, and I have 14 days worth of pent-up just celebration that has to get out and needs to get out right flipping now.
Ramadan.
Yes!
Ramadan.
Do, 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 do.
Ramadan.
Do, 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 do. One more time!
Ramadan. Ramadan.
Do, 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 do.
Ramadan.
I am doing the Carlton in my chair, folks, because I am amped up and excited again. I had to get that, the Ramadan theme song out there for you to play. It just puts me in the spirit. It's just like Jingle Bells or any other holiday classic that you would hear. And again, to show you my appreciation for the Muslim faith and the fact that they don't have a Ramadan theme song, I wanted to make sure that they had one. So I created that. We debuted that last year, and throughout every week during the month of Ramadan, we will play that, about 20 times. But we definitely make sure that at least 1 week, and preferably we want to do this the first week of Ramadan, so you really knew everything you needed to know about Ramadan, because it's a month long and there are things you need to know. And just imagine, you're 25 years old, you don't even know what Christmas is about. It's going to take some time. There are some things you need to know if you're going to celebrate Christmas like you should, right? Same thing goes with Ramadan. And a lot of Americans are ignorant to it. And I felt that the Islamic faith and Muslims as a whole do so much for us. We really need to make sure that we, too, are educating people and really having a sense of class and dignity and appreciation for what is Ramadan. And so I wanted to share with you everything you need to know so that you, at least for the next 2 weeks of Ramadan, maybe even 3, 2-ish, you can celebrate Ramadan in style and do it the right way. And let's be real. Don't the holidays really just give you an excuse to eat? Isn't that sometimes your favorite part of Thanksgiving or Christmas is, the turkey or the really good cookies or things you have around Christmas time, or grandma's favorite recipe she makes that really make you go, that's why I love this time of year. It's the food that really makes memories in regards to certain holidays. And Ramadan's no different, which is why I celebrate Ramadan like all good Americans should, and that's by eating bacon and telling you the rules of how Ramadan works. And I do it live on the radio. Now, last year, during my first ever Ramadan extravaganza, I gotta level with you. I just had like some Oscar Mayer, like already pre-cooked bacon that you throw in the microwave for like 15 seconds, and it's okay. I mean, but this year, I went all out. I increased my Ramadan spending budget. My celebration budget doubled from last year. So I actually went to my local butcher shop and I got like the really good thick cut bacon with like the black pepper on it. So it's like the smokehouse, just really, really, really good cuts of bacon, like deli stuff, like $6 a pound, really good bacon. And so I have that here in front of me. And I figured I would, and you can do the same. I suggest you have some bacon. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to judge you if you have the pre-cooked stuff like I did last year. It's okay as long as you have bacon. That is what we're supposed to do when we celebrate Ramadan. And let me read you the rules, again, while eating bacon. Pardon me. Again, we're friends here, right? We can eat in front of each other. It's no big deal. So here we go. All right, so, oh my God, this is so good. Like bacon that's like crispy, but it's like perfectly done. We just get a little bit of the fat of the bacon that's in there. It's kind of chewy and bacon. It's so good. Anyway, so the number one thing you have to remind yourself when you're talking about Ramadan, if you want to do it the right way and you want to be observant and you want to, quite frankly, just show class to other face, is you have to remember that it's about fasting. Fasting is really important during Ramadan. And unless you're insane or you're like on your period or something, you have to fast. And the way that works is that basically from sun up to sundown, you have to fast. You can't eat anything. You can only eat before the sun comes up, and then you can eat once the sun goes down. And hold on, I'm out of bacon. Let me get another one. And just so you know, no one's really exempt from fasting, except for like children, the elderly or chronically ill, pregnant women. So, Muslims are really looking out for women. War on women's only here in America, you know that. And the insane, which helps guys like me because I can eat bacon and not be held to the same standards as the rest who have to fast. But if you're not any of those, then here's how it works. Even if you mess up, like now, like me eating bacon, well, you got to do two things. One, you have to make up another day of fasting. So if I'm not fasting now, like I'm not, clearly, I just have to make up another day. I can defer a day of fasting. It's kind of like deferring a car payment. Like maybe this month's really tight, but Allah's cool with me doing it later. So I can do it later, which is cool. But I can defer if I eat or drink intentionally. I can just, make up for it another day. If I deliberately cause myself to throw up, if I'm menstruating, so women, if you're menstruating, you just have to do it later. But you still got to do it. Ejaculation, for reasons other than sexual intercourse, which, I don't know, I guess what sperm banks are probably just absolutely like ghost towns during the month of Ramadan. I'd have to think. I mean, even if you think the sun's down, but it's not, Allah knows. So, you may think you're getting away with it, but he's still going to hold you accountable to a day of fasting. Now, there's that, and there's the kafra, which the kafra is a penalty. So not only do you have to make up a day, but if you have sex during fasting, you have to fast for another 60 days. So one day of sex during Ramadan is 60 days of fasting you have to make up. So that better be, and you better have like the, Miss Taliban or something out there if that's worth your while. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, but Jason, I just brushed my teeth. I mean, that's water. Is that okay? Yeah, that's fine. You don't break your fast by brushing your teeth. Or if you swallow things that are like impossible to avoid, like saliva or street dust or smoke, that doesn't break your fast. You're okay with that. So if you're in street dust, man, I'm assuming in the Middle East, that sand you're swallowing all the time. So, I just wanted to give you kind of the rundown of how Ramadan works. And almost out of bacon at this point, so we'll wrap the segment up. But I just wanted to make sure you knew everything you needed to know so that you can celebrate it in style and really share the great traditions of Ramadan with a friend. It's important you do that. Because we need to share the same level of respect and understanding towards the Muslim faith here in America at the same level that the Muslim faith embraces homosexuality. The same openness and the same level of understanding is what I wanted to bring to you today with full respect and full admiration of their faith with bacon.
Ramadan. Ramadan. Ramadan.
Coming up next, SCOTUS, just like the POTUS, kicked the American people square in the scrotus. Monumental things happened last week. Constitution, light it on fire, folks. That and more next here on According to Me.
K98talk.com, a leader in internet radio. So grab your seatbelts and take the ride of your life on K98talk.com.
Where it begins, I can't pretend to know when. I saved you from becoming a coat. We made it through spring and Ramadan in the summer. I got you in trade for chickpeas and goat. Hands touching hooves, reaching out, touching me, touching you. My sheep Caroline, my 3 wives never felt so good.
So good, so good, so good.
Free Palestine. I know together that we could, but now I look at my cave and it doesn't seem so lonely. I laid out a blanket for us two. And in your herd, you proudly say I'm your owner. We have a love that's pure and true. Warm, your wool is warm. Reaching out, touching me, touching you. My sheep Caroline, my 3 wives never felt so good.
So good, so good, so good.
Free Palestine. I know together that we could. My sheep Caroline, my 3 wives never felt so good.
So good, so good, so good.
My sheep Caroline, I know together that we could.
Ramadan. Ramadan. Ramadan.
Your powers combined, I am Captain Planet.
If I only would have known that his show was going to be on there, I would have never invented the internet. According to me.
Welcome back to the show, folks. We just left the Ramadan segment on a very high note, very uplifting, very classy, very spiritual. There was eating, there was drinking, there was dancing, it was a very special time. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. And again, the Ramadan celebrations continue all the way through, I believe, the 17th of July. So we still have time, but hopefully at least that little part got you caught up to speed on what you need to know and really how to embrace this specialist of holidays the way it should be embraced and respected. Speaking of Ramadan, what do you think ISIS thinks of hashtag love wins? Yeah, I'm guessing they're not digging that too much. That decision, probably not their favorite thing, and it's not mine either. You agree with ISIS, Jason? No, hear me out. See, folks, love won and the Constitution lost. And if you're an American, gay, straight, male, female, the decision by the Supreme Court should infuriate you. Now you're thinking, why would a gay person be upset with the decision? See, over the last couple of weeks, I've been doing extensive research on gay Americans. I've gone online, I've Googled information, tons of articles about how gay Americans think, and I cross-referenced all that information at the library, and I looked up microfilm, and I was looking at political science novels and articles and papers and theorems, and I actually wrote a paper on this, and my thesis statement goes a little something like this. Gay Americans are gay Americans. There's my thesis statement. And so there's a lot of noise that's out there by 10% of people who are gay and truly believe that this is a way to transform marriage here in America and make it about everything else but marriage. But what has catapulted this issue to being on the main stage, the number one issue here in America right now, are the guilt-stricken straight people and straight shaming that's going on here in our country, where acceptance and being okay with other lifestyles is not acceptable. Not only do you need to accept it, you need to embrace it and you need to enjoy it. And if in the event that you don't or you disagree with it, off with your head. That's what's going on now. Equality does not equal privilege. Equality equals equality. But before I go on a much longer rant here, let me make a little public service announcement, okay? And if you're a veteran of the show, you've listened to the show before, you know where I stand on this, but maybe you're new to the program or maybe you just need a little refresher. I just want to state this once and for all, once again, so that you know where I'm coming from in regards to this issue. I don't care who you sleep with. Who you have sex with is none of my business. If you had to make a top 100 list of the things that would interest me about you as a person, any person, who you have sex with is probably number 96 on that list of 100. I don't care. I don't care. I believe that the federal government has no role in marriage because the Constitution kind of says so. Or, more importantly, the Constitution doesn't say a damn thing about marriage, therefore, it goes to the state. Now, 37 states have allowed it. 13 haven't. But what frustrates me about this decision is the fact that 13 states and the American people who many, many times, and even very liberal states like California up until recently have said, no, we don't want this in our state. And circuit courts, district courts, state courts, and the Supreme Court are once again showing that we are not a representative republic, that the Constitution and the word of the people mean nothing. And any American listening to this right now, regardless of your sex, your creed, your color, your sexual orientation, your sexual preferences, doesn't make a damn, should be concerned about 5 lawyers picking and choosing what parts of the law and the Constitution they want to uphold and not uphold. Because if we really want to go down this path, and we're now going to, what that document says means nothing based on this. And when other amendments are broken because, well, we really don't pay attention to that whole Constitution thing anymore, where are you now? Oh, let me guess, you're changing your little avatar on Facebook to have a rainbow picture because you support this. Look, this isn't about love. Love died. Love didn't win, love lost. And the reason why love lost in this particular instance is now if you happen to be against the decision, you're automatically a homophobic bigot who needs to get thrown out. And churches no longer have the ability of having any convictions of their faith anymore because it is against federal law. That's right. Separation of church and state, dead, gone. Your church cannot do what it wants to anymore, regardless. This wasn't about love winning. This was about religious freedom losing. The foundation of our country, whether you are atheist or agnostic or Christian or Jewish or whatever faith or non-faith you may be, there's absolutely no denying the fact that our country was primarily founded on religious freedom and religious expression. And that protection in the Constitution is very important for one particular reason. It prevents the state from becoming the church, and it prevents the church from becoming the state. Simple. Let me repeat that again. It prevents the church from writing all of the laws of the land. Like in merry old England at the time, the church was the state. Atheists, agnostics, you want that? I don't. You will be the first to flip out over that. Great. Well, let's conversely look at it the other way. Do you want the state infringing on the churches? No. That's simple. Which is why, let me ask you this. If you're in favor of this decision, let me ask you a very simple question. Let's say you're in a state that outlaws gay marriage. And there is a church that says, we know what the state law is, but we want to observe marriages of all likes, all sexual orientations, all sexual preferences, because we believe in love. And we know the state doesn't want to do it, but we want to do it, and we will recognize it, and we will at least have a ceremony here for you. The state may not recognize it, but we as a church are going to do it because we believe it is right. How many people would support that church's decision to go against what the state says? I'm guessing every single person who agrees with the decision the Supreme Court made. But now, conversely, that same church, now that the roles are reversed, in which state law is trumped by federal law, which says, you have to marry me. And if a church says, yeah, I know what the law says, but I don't believe in that, I don't agree with it, screw you, it's the law. That's the conversation now. Which side are you on? Be consistent, that's all I'm saying. And I feel bad for most gay Americans because they're being used as pawns. Because this has nothing to do with your rights or your right to marry. This has to do with the federal government smacking down the church and smacking down religious freedom. And you're pawns in the game. Congratulations. As far as I'm concerned, I don't care who you marry. I don't care. I do not care. I have so many gay friends and people I associate with, and I love them to death. Anybody who knows me knows in my heart that's not who I am. But I also hope they know that I'm consistent in what I say. And what I'm saying here is this decision is a dangerous, slippery slope. Because now we have no definition of what marriage actually is. And you go, well, isn't it obvious? No, it's not. Because who's to say that polygamy isn't next on the chopping block? Hey, it's love, right? We didn't question gay love. Why should we question a man and 5 wives? Wife number 1, do you love him? Yes. Wife number 2, do you love him? Yes. Wife number 3, do you love him? Yes. See, it's love. It's love. And I am a very lonely middle-aged man, and I want to marry my kitty cat. It's love. Who are you to define love? Hashtag love wins, right? See, this is the problem, folks. And if you think this is a stretch, it's not. There's already talk of the next shoe to drop, polygamy. Why not, right? It's love. I mean, what is the state? Obviously, religion and the churches have no role anymore. They can't refuse a ceremony of any sort in particular because it's the federal law. You have to observe it like it or not. Are you against a man marrying 5 women? I am, but it doesn't matter. Shut up! Do the ceremony! You okay with that? Because that's where we're headed. I want equal rights for everyone. I've said that since day one. The federal government, the state should. I'll tell you what, I got married. I've been married, 13 years now. 13 years. My marriage was between me, my wife, God, and Pastor Story. That's it. I have a piece of paper from the state of Wisconsin that says that they observe my marriage. It's probably in a freaking shoebox somewhere. I haven't looked at it since the day I signed it, or maybe I guess the day I got it in the mail like 3 weeks later in the state of Wisconsin in 2002. 2003, excuse me. Why? Why would I look at it? Why do I care? I know it defines my marriage. I don't think it's right that certain people shouldn't have the same rights as far as taxes are concerned, because that's what the government's all about anyways. Well, we can classify these people, we can tax them this way, then money. Get all the loopholes gone. Because people who campaigned as early as 2012 and 2013, right, Barack and Hillary, were the first people to say, yeah, this whole gay marriage thing, I still believe in the whole man and woman thing. All of a sudden, 2-3 years later, they look at you like, you son of a bitch! How dare you not be okay with this? Brad Thor, the author, brought up a good point on Twitter. He had a tweet out there, which was, you saw the coordinated event, the White House on the 4th of July won't make itself red, white, or blue. But when the Supreme Court makes a decision about gay marriage, the White House has rainbow colors over it. Now, I happen to believe that the White House is the house of the people. And the White House should not take sides one way or the other on a Supreme Court decision. But I do find it funny that Brad Thor is like, wow, what a coordinated effort. The White House was very prepared for this announcement because, heck, as soon as it was nighttime, the day the announcement happened on Friday, it's raining and it's all outside the White House, and it's a good old time. There's preparation. That took time and effort and coordination to pull that off. This is the same administration who, when there's attacks in Benghazi and State Department emails and hard drives destroyed or IRS targeting, they go, I saw that in the newspaper. I didn't even know. I found out when you did. But they knew all about this one, didn't they? I just think it's despicable they're taking sides one way or the other. Because like it or not, it is a controversial decision. So you shouldn't take off half the country and flip them off and say, screw you. And even if it's nowadays it's about a 60-40 right now as far as favor of, not favor of. So you're still taking 40% of Americans, which I'm not one of those. I'm fine with the decision in regards to equal rights. I'm disgusted by the decision because the Supreme Court made it. The Supreme Court decided to take the words and votes and the democratic republic process that we have as a country and piss all over it. 37 states have already passed this as law. Eventually, 13 more were going to do it. Right? Maybe there's one or two that didn't, and guess what? It's a states' rights issue because it's not in the Constitution. This just in, you don't have the right to marry in the first place. I, as a heterosexual man, don't have the right to marry anybody. But now, you essentially have given rights of people to marry. That's not a right. It's just not a right, whether you're straight or gay. And if our Congress and Senate and President of the United States had any balls whatsoever, they would make a constitutional amendment because you can do that in regards to marriage. But that would require them to have a 66% vote in order to put that in the Constitution. And that would require them to be held accountable by their constituents who maybe in their states don't want them to vote for it. But they don't have the balls to do that. So instead, we'll let 5 unelected lawyers decide the outcome for 50 states. Again, folks, it's not the decision, it's why and how the decision was made. It is not their place to do it, period. Their job as Supreme Court justice, whether they are put on there by Mr. Conservative himself, or by the biggest, farthest leftist loon we've ever seen, is to uphold the laws of the land and the Constitution of the United States. Instead, you had judicial activism decide that despite what the laws say and despite what the Constitution says I can do and not do and what the federal government can do or not do, I don't give a rat's ass what it says. I stand for this, so saith the judge. The same government who is big enough to give you everything you want is big enough to take it all away. And it's just a matter of time before the Supreme Court goes, well, what else can we do? And just know where you stand now. Because maybe you love this decision, but the next huge decision that the Supreme Court oversteps their boundaries on and takes away your freedom and spits in the face of a representative republic, know where I stand. Where do you stand? This rant brought to you by Audible.com. You know, for the 5 judges who decided that not only Obamacare, which I didn't even get into, is perfectly fine and constitutional, again, and believes that now federal law mandates what the marriages are in your church and in your state. You know who really needs a subscription to Audible.com? I know they make a lot of money, but, maybe they just don't have time. Maybe they're super busy like I am when it comes to reading. So here's what you do. You tell our justices, you tell Justice Kennedy and Kagan and Sotomayor and the like, you just say, hey, you know what? Shoot them an email and say, go to audibletrial.com/polititainment. You get a free trial. You get a free book. And again, Audible's part of Amazon, so there's like hundreds of thousands of books to choose from. One of the books that's available to choose from on audible.com is the Constitution. It'll actually read it to you. And maybe that would have been better. Maybe if Sotomayor just could have been listening to the Constitution while doing jazzercise, she would have realized, holy crap, I shouldn't vote in favor for this. So just throwing that out there. Maybe you want to get caught up on the Constitution. Maybe idiot friends of yours probably need to be brushed up on, I don't know, the founding documents of our country. Those are available on audible.com, as well as some other great books that are out there. Ted Cruz's book came out Tuesday. Really good stuff. Check it out. Again, you get a free trial, free audiobook of your choice, no strings attached. Go to audibletrial.com/polititainment. Go to audibletrial.com/polititainment today. Do it. All right, coming up next. Forget what you heard about WIKI LEAKS unveiling things about the TPP. I got some voicemails. Oh, you've got to hear these. That's coming up next here on According to Me.
Are you conservative in a world of liberal?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're not alone. Hey, I'm Daniel Stafford, host of the Stafford Voice, and I'd like to invite you to tune in each Monday, 10 p.m. Eastern, where I'll break down the events of the week, and together we'll learn about how they affect you. So, sit back and get ready for the good, the bad, and the ugly of talk radio right here on K98 Talk.
Muhammad in the Sunnah create Islamic law. The verses in the Quran, all praise be to Allah. The last words of the Prophet before his dying breath. Follow this pathway or you'll be stoned to death. Sharia, you like it. Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar. Sharia, you like it. Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar. If ever you're a Muslim, take heed and hear my tip. You can never ever cancel, just like a gym membership. You cannot eat the pig, and all gays will be stoned. You must convert to Islam, or the dirt will be your home. Your women have no rights. Be faithful and submit, and wear a beekeeper outfit. Sharia, you like it. Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar. Sharia, you like it. Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar. Sharia, you like it. Let me hear you say it. Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar. Sharia, you like it. The Jews are going to hate it. Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar. Sharia, you like it. One Islamic nation. Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar. Sharia, you like it. Or suffer condemnation. Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar. Sharia, you like it. Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar. Sharia, you like it.
He's the honey badger of internet radio.
Oh, the honey badgers are just crazy.
According to me.
Ew, what's that in its mouth? Mouth.
Welcome back, folks. Coming down the home stretch of this week's episode of According to Me, and it's... Do you really want me to do this? Okay, I want to let you in on something that happened during the break. We have guests here on According to Me, but rarely do we actually open up the phone lines for the listeners to call in and ask questions and talk about stuff. It's not that I don't want to talk to you guys, but it's the 2-hour show that lasts 60 minutes, and a lot of times we just don't have time to do that during the program. But my producer is talking to my ear here. We got a call. He's saying I have to take this call. I'm taking it blind. I don't even know who it is, but here, let's go for it. It's live radio. Caller, you're on the air.
Hello, Jason.
Jason, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Who's this?
It's the king of pop, Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson, like moonwalk Michael Jackson? You listen to the show?
Well, I'm a long-time listener, first-time caller.
Oh, well, thanks for calling in, but I mean, aren't you dead? I mean, how are you calling me in the first place?
I'm calling you from my Obama phone.
That makes sense. I mean, Obama wants the dead to vote, so I mean, if you're going to vote while you're dead, you may as well get a free phone out of the deal. I mean, I get it. I mean, I know you were dead during the last election, but I mean, are you an Obama supporter, Michael, or, where do you stand on that?
I don't support any candidate who's pro-choice. I don't believe in abortion because I really, 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 really like children.
Well, of course. I mean, how could we forget that? So, Michael, why are you calling in tonight?
Well, I've been wanting to call in for the last couple of weeks, but you've been gone. But there's some things I've been dying to say.
Things you've been dying to say because you're dead. I'm sorry, Michael. Go ahead. Shamon.
For 25 plus years, the paparazzi and the mainstream media and everybody made me look out to like I was some kind of freak. Right after Thriller, when I got vitiligo, and I had patches all over, and I was using makeup to conceal all the patches of my skin because I lost pigment in places. People thought that I was trying to bleach my skin, that I didn't want to be black, that I wanted to be white, that I wasn't proud of who I was. And after some of the cosmetic surgeries, I was accused of trying to be a woman and getting hormones injected into me so I could sound more female because I wanted to be a white woman and not a black man. And it's ridiculous and ignorant and ludicrous. Ignorant.
And just think about it, Michael. I mean, you were around before social media was even out there. But just imagine nowadays the stuff that would be out there about you. That's flat out not true. I will say that the Inquirer in the 80s and 90s in your heyday, when all these rumors came out speculating about you, I mean, months or years later, they could retract what they said, but it was urban legend. Everyone believed it. I mean, people to this day still believe you bought like the Elephant Man's bones or whatever. I mean, how dumb is that? I mean, who would actually buy that, right?
Actually, I did buy those. They're very collectible and beautiful. I put them in my will and gave them to Brooke Shields when I passed away.
Okay, well, that's awkward, but you do bring up a good point, Michael.
Well, think about it. In less than 1 month's time, you have a white girl from Great Plains of America who moves out to Washington State and gets hair extensions and gets her skin darkened and works for the NAACP and identifies as black and goes after white people and white privilege in America. And when it's found out that she's whiter than Macaulay Culkin, Shamon! Everyone's like, well, it really doesn't matter. It's all about how you feel, and you can identify whatever race you want to.
I can't disagree with you, Michael. I mean, Rachel Dolezal is about authentic of a black woman as well. Your nose, for example.
And then you have someone who has massive facial surgery to make themselves look more feminine. And they have bosoms. And they're on the cover of Vanity Fair. And we all know that she is nothing more than a hee-hee. And yet he went to Arthur Ashe Awards. That's just ignorant. Caitlyn Jenner's ignorant.
No, I agree. I mean, winning the Arthur Ashe Award for bravery, I mean, that's a little over the top, don't you think? I mean, bravery, any kid who went to Neverland Ranch, now that's brave. Am I right, Michael?
Stop it. That's not nice. That's ignorant.
Oh, Michael, thanks for calling the show. Honest to goodness, I would never have expected this in a million years. Anything else you want to say to the listeners out there?
When it comes to Rachel Dolezal, we all know that she's not black, but why?
Nice. Good one.
Caitlyn Jenner's not my lover. Shimon!
Hey, Michael, all right, well, go ahead and charge up that Obama phone, and, feel free to call in whenever you'd like. I'm glad you listened to the show.
Hey, Caitlyn Jenner with the high heels on.
I don't know what I'm more surprised at. The fact that the White House looked like a bag of Skittles on Friday, or the fact that Michael Jackson just called into the show. But, I mean, Michael, I guess, did bring up some pretty interesting points, so if you really think about it, because for decades, that man was ridiculed, and now it's just about how you feel. It's okay. Michael, you're a white woman. It's fine. It's okay. If I was Michael, I'd be a little pissed off, too. I get it. But you know what? A lot of these things, a lot of these changes of race or gender, things like that are just simply not for nothing more than political gain. Or career gain in some instances. I mean, you look at Elizabeth Warren, right? Pocahontas, Hiawatha. Pretends to be Native American when it's convenient to further her career. Now she still says she's Native American and she's one of the first elected officials to the United States government who's a Native American and she's whiter than paste. But how she feels. Maybe she feels like a Native American on the inside. Same with Rachel Dolezal. I mean, yes, she's super white, but I mean, it's not about who you really are. It's about how you feel. And I got to level with you. This conservative radio internet thing is very competitive. There's a lot of people who have a laptop and a microphone and do a show as well. And it's sometimes difficult to try to separate yourselves from the pack of all the people. And one of the things that really helps, especially the thing that hurts, is that I happen to be an outspoken 30-something white guy who's a conservative. I've never seen those kind of guys before. Well, of course you have. It's not that unique. Hopefully the content and the way I deliver it and the funniness of what I do makes it unique and different than any other radio show you hear. But on the surface, it's a white guy talking behind a microphone. What really gets you noticed is niches being different, outspoken women in conservative circles. Whoa, hey, whoa. There's a girl with a really strong opinion who's well-spoken. If you're African-American, same thing. And so I was thinking, I really want to take this show to the next level, and I really want it to be a household name. And I was thinking it's not about who you really are, it's about how you feel and who you want to identify with. And even if it's not true, if it feels good, it's fine. And really, once you've gotten the level of success or notoriety you really want, then you can just backtrack on the line and then people just forget. So I was thinking, you have women who have shows in conservative circles. You have, black conservative hosted shows. Heck, you even have Hispanic hosted shows. But how many Asians have their own conservative podcast? Not many. I can't think of any. Do you? How many Asian women have their own conservative show? None I can think of. So I'm just kicking this around, guys. I just wanted to get your feedback and thoughts. Because again, yes, I have plumbing of a man. And let's think about it. If I want to identify with Asian, Asians are very smart. They're very successful. They're hardworking. Some of the most prospering people in this country are of Asian American descent, or just simply Asian descent. So my thought is, starting next week, it will no longer be according to me. It will be according to Mei Fu Young, your young conservative hostess, Asian hostess. Not Trisha Takanawa, but what do you think? I think A, would certainly help distinguish my show amongst the sea of other shows that are out there. And B, I know it's not based on fact, but none of this matters. Who cares? It's how I feel. I like Chinese food. I like Japanese teppanyaki food. I like Vietnamese food's very good. Thai. I love all that stuff right there. It's all Asian. I love that kind of food. You may as well just consider me an Asian woman. Why not? It's how I feel. It's how I feel. According to Mei Fu Young, starting next week. Be here. Okay, before we get in the Asshat of the week, you heard some information in regards to TPP and WIKI LEAKS releasing information that even your senators didn't know was part of the deal. It's one of the reasons why Ted Cruz backed out of it, was he was for TPP until he realized some of the details that he wasn't given access to, that no one was given access to, but was really the real deals that WIKI LEAKS released, which changed the outcome. Now, TPP is still going to be the law of the land. It's probably going to pass, regardless of the pushback. But again, like I said in my last episode, what was really interesting is the strange bedfellows it created. Many of your, what we would consider our conservative, outspoken people who, truly have American interests first, were in favor of the same thing Obama was. And yet you have a lot of people on the left, Elizabeth Warren, Nancy Pelosi, Harry Reid, some very outspoken people on the left who are like, this plan sucks, don't vote for it. And I found it amazing because you just don't really go against Barack. He kind of has a way of making sure that if you do that, well, won't happen often. And so WikiLeaks also this week released some voicemails that, let's just say, are very interesting.
Hello, no one is available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone.
Hey, Harry, it's Barack. You got a lot of fucking nerve. I thought you had my back on this whole TPP thing. Since when are you somebody who thinks on his own? Supposed to have my back. Who had your back on the whole injury exercise accident you had? We all know Valerie Jarrett kicked your ass, and who covered for you? Me. I got news for you. This is going to get approved with or without your ass. So do me a favor. Sit on the sideline and play a game of hide and go yourself. Don't cross me again. And if you happen to survive, I heard Shady Estates retirement home has great tapioca pudding. And you're going to need it because I'm going to knock out your teeth. King Kong ain't got on me. You've been warned.
Harry Reid, don't you understand that you can't challenge the president? He's not used to being challenged or put in a corner. I mean, no one puts Baby in a corner, and nobody puts Barack in a corner. The mainstream media doesn't. No one does. He's not used to having people say, you know, this may not be a good idea, especially his own party. But if you think that was bad, another one released by WIKI LEAKS to, well, let's just say our favorite representative in San Francisco.
Please leave message after tone.
Nancy Pelosi. What the Even though your face has seen more cuts than a Chinese chopped salad, I didn't think it impacted your brain. I guess I was wrong. You know what the George Soros said. Stick to the plan. The fact that you were outspoken against TPP is a bad move. I'd tell you to sleep with one eye open, but you've had so much plastic surgery, I don't think you could physically close your eye. I'd fit you for cement shoes, but you're such an airhead, you'd probably float to the top. Do this again, and I'll have you visit the Iraqi embassy. Be a shame if ISIS were there at the time. I hear they have such love and respect for women, especially in authoritative roles. Remember, TPP or DIE. Smooches.
I mean, those kind of messages to Harry Reid and Nancy Pelosi, his guys, so to say, I can only imagine the kind of messages he leaves for John Boehner. Oh, wait, that's right. John Boehner agrees with every... Well, you figure it out.
It is time for this week's Ask of the Week.
So many Asshat of the Week candidates over the last couple of weeks, but there could only be one, and went a little lighthearted this week, and I'll tell you that we went outside of North America. In fact, we went right across the pond and visited our good friends in England to get this week's Asshat of the Week. See, everyone who wants to get married wants to be a princess, and they want a horse-drawn carriage, and they want champagne, and they want like a first-class experience and an extravagant honeymoon. I mean, what woman certainly doesn't dream of that kind of wedding? The problem is, this week's Asshat of the Week feels that that is a human right that the UK government should pay for. Yeah, because if that doesn't happen and she's not given her human right, if she had like some small ceremony at a government office, it would not boost her confidence, but the dream wedding would allow her to get back to her job search so that she can provide for herself and her new spouse. But until that happens, oh man, I just don't have the motivation to find work because I haven't been given my rights. Dream weddings, folks, are now rights, according to this week's Asshat of the Week, Anna Broom. Now, most brooms I know actually work. You know, they actually have some sort of function. They actually do something. Not like this week's Asshat of the Week, Anna Broom. Anna, you do have a job now. Congratulations. I know it's probably not a dream job or a right, but I hereby award you a very important duty, and that is to tell everyone that you know that you are this week's Asshat of the Week.
Tune in next week for another exciting installment of Asshat of the Week.
That's going to put the finishing touches on this week's episode of According to Me. Hopefully you learned a lot of stuff. We learned about Ramadan, how to celebrate it with respect and with bacon. We learned about what the Supreme Court did this week is going to have major repercussions, and while love won, the Constitution and our republic lost. We learned you don't double-cross Barack Obama when it comes to TPP. We learned that Michael Jackson is a fan of the show, I guess, and we learned that dream weddings for a princess are a right, apparently, according to asshats in London. We'll be back next week faster than you can say furious. Thanks for listening. Good night, America.
Ramadan. Ramadan. Ramadan.